I'm super excited for today's video because all we're going to need is one sheet of plywood and one dowel. And then of course any stain or paint you want afterwards. But for this project today, super simple and doesn't require a whole lot of materials. Now, I'm also excited because this is my own creation. I thought about this, I planned it, I even built it in SketchUp, so I'm going to share that with the plans down below once I figure out how to do that. So super excited for you guys on that. Now, my wife brought up the idea, but it wasn't really super sophisticated. It was super simple, like just a little like cheap cross closet kind of idea, right? Now, this thing is going to be awesome, so stick around and you'll see what it's like, and I'll show you guys how we're building this. My daughter's got way too many dresses, gloves, hats, all these accessories and things, so we need to clean this up instead of just have it all over the place or have these not so cool looking buckets, right? We're woodworkers. We make customizable projects to fit our needs or just things that we like, right? When you got your big 8-foot sheet of plywood, get your circular saw, cut off about 3 foot of that. That'll be easier. We'll use that later for the shelves. So then now you've got 5 foot to play with, which is a little easier to manage on the table saw. That way, all you have to do is set up your fence once, and you're going to go ahead and make multiple cuts because we're going to need 5 of these 3-foot sheets for the walls. So with that 1-foot sheet that you ripped off, we're going to start making the strips for our crates. And those are going to be about 2.5 inches wide and a foot long. We're going to make four cuts to make one side. So like let's say this is the base, do that 4 more times to make the back panel and the 2 side panels. And then we're going to need 2 more for the front coming out at an angle. So for each crate, you're going to need 18 of these strips here. And again, coming back to our table saw, much easier for me and good for you guys. If you don't have a bunch of tools, then boom, all you need is a table saw for this, right? I don't have a sliding miter saw, so that's why I like this. Set it up once, and we're gonna be making a whole bunch of cuts, so that's nice and easy. You always want to be repeatable. And then with the little bit of strips we got left, I went ahead and made 6 of these 1.5-inch runners that I'm gonna rest my shelves on. Then I went ahead and ripped out some rabbets on this, because why not? And last but not least, our final step, the cuts. Gonna do a little dado right here in the middle here. I didn't want this to just be any boring old piece, so I went ahead and traced a little crown on here and cut it out with the jigsaw, and then I'm gonna finish it off in the router because I don't trust myself with the jigsaw. And just when I thought everything was finished, of course I realized that I needed more pieces. So I've got all the tops cut, the sides cut, I got all the strips cut for the crates, I did the crown, but now I need something to put the crates together. So I'm gonna cut some 10.5-inch long strips that are 1 inch wide, and that way I'll have something to attach the crates to, and we'll be good to go. And here comes the best part, sanding. No, not really, but it's all good. And I think the thing that's going to suck about this the most is that I have a whole bunch of little pieces I've got to get done rather than a handful of big pieces. So I got to sand all these plus my faces and the crown. So we're going to be here for a minute, but luckily it's not that bad. So, you know, just do a quick little sand and it should be good to go. We'll start with some 150 grit and we'll work our way up. And luckily for you, if you thought I was going to make you sit through this whole thing, you're wrong, which is good. Hey, look at that. We're done. And now it's time to glue it and tack it. Probably a little bit of overkill, but I definitely want to make sure this thing holds. And I got these 90-degree clamps, which is, you know, really nice and easy to make these. And I've got these that I can use my other clamps with too. So we'll see what works best. And honestly, I think those clamps kind of made it a little worse. So I'm thinking I might just hold it with my hand and tack it in. And after getting everything all glued up and nailed up, I wasn't sure how supportive it was. So I'm going to cut some triangles and give it some corner braces. So on the bright side, this dowel actually fits a lot better than I thought it was going to fit. I actually got some special brackets I was going to screw in here and have it hang down onto it. But actually, I just drilled a little hole and cut it to size, and it fits in there really well, and it adds support. So that's pretty nice. Now it's time to install the runners here, and I just went ahead and put some glue on these strips, and luckily I just happened to have some scrap wood laying around that I was able to use as some spacers for this, make everything nice and square. Makes this a whole lot easier. So just a little bit of glue, put it in place, and some clamps, and boom, there we go. I was going to tack it in, but even these 1-inch nails still kind of went through just enough where I didn't want it, since my daughter was going to be around this thing and I don't want to poke her fingers. So glue it is. Quick little side note, I think this is the most I've ever had plugged in this little thing, and it's got 4 slots and I love it, but usually only use like 1 or 2 for the one tool I'm using, maybe 2, and I never used the USB, but I am today. I had to use my leaf blower and charge that. My headphones are dying, got my sander out, the saw out, and I'm cooking, so anytime I'm just kind of switching, I can do up to 4 things, so that's kind of cool. This is the most I've ever used it, but hey, it's handy. Now it's time to start gluing up the little baskets together. Get your little bottom piece, spacer, where you can kind of measure these up. Get these nice and square here in a minute. Using this yellow line I have on my table here. I was going to do like a little 1/4-inch spacer, but it's easy enough just to eyeball it. Pretty straight there. Now, put some glue on it, and there we go. So now all that's left is to build these boxes. I was going to glue them, but I'm trying to get this done, so I'm just going to tack them all in, and it'll be easier. I can kind of move it around. So at first I was going to just hold it and do it, and then I was having some trouble with that, and then I got some clamps and some squares out, and then it was taking too much time and struggling. So then I got smart. I just put it on the edge of the table here, and did one side at a time, and that was a whole lot easier. Didn't have to really hold anything, and it lined it up pretty perfectly well. So just starting from the back, attaching the 2 sides, and I'm going to do the bottoms and then do the front. And then when it came time to do the bottom, I was trying to use the table and lay it flat, but that also was giving me a hard time to get my nail gun in there. So just do all the sides and then the front, make your square. That way when you do the bottom, it's a whole lot easier, just like this. And this whole project has been a little difficult to build because someone has been wanting to help me so much. I have just the best little helpers here, and unfortunately I'm not going to let them play with the power tools, but they can definitely help with the painting and the easy stuff, right? Look at them, aren't they doing a good job? She's so excited for her little dress-up closet. Now it's my turn to paint. Oh man, this is going to take forever. Probably should have got a bigger brush. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I got a bigger brush. I'm going to use this roller. And I'm tired. Now it's her turn. We'll let her do the rest. Uh-oh, I think she heard me. Attaching these little purple crowns was just the piece de la resistance, or however you say that. I was just super excited to get this because that means we are done. All I need to do is let the glue dry, and it's looking pretty good. Alright, project complete. Now it's just time to add the shelves. We're going to do all 3, and this one. Don't forget the bottom shelf. Ah, yeah. Now, time to admire my work. Not too shabby. I think it looks pretty good, but let's be honest, who really cares what I think? Real test is, what does Madeline think? I'm hanging up here. There you go. Okay. You love it? Alright guys, it's your turn. Go build this for your daughter, or if you don't have a daughter, maybe your niece, or some other little girl that has too many dresses and nowhere to put them. And that's it. Go build it. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. While we're on the subject, if you have kids and they just have too many things and nowhere to put them, why don't you check out this video here where I built a shelf for the Toniebox and all the little characters because we just kept putting them in a little bucket or a bag and it didn't look cool. So now you have a nice way to display them, and hopefully you don't lose them and your kids can pick them out and play with them. All right, go check it out.